Hi guys, we're going to continue our discussion with Peter here, who's just come on board so he can answer me some questions live to you, so that you can really be served by me responding to the questions and not always me just speaking at you. So Peter, what question do you have?
My first question would be, you hear a lot about in the Bible Jesus performing miracles, really interesting, cool miracles, and also you see magicians and stuff like doing weird, trippy stuff, and I'm just wanting to know if that stuff is true, and also can we do that ourselves, seeing as we're gods, and what's the process?
Right, yes, the old miracle question. I get this one a lot. Okay, so I think the first place to start with that is that as a God, you can do anything. This is absolutely the truth, because you are everything. So there's nothing that you cannot achieve. Now, when we're talking about miracles that are commonly accepted, like let's say fire walking, for example, you know, there's been, especially in the 80s, fire walking was like the thing to do, and everyone in the spiritual world was fire walking. Now, what they enacted with the fire walking is that they just fundamentally shifted their awareness of reality. See, we live in a very limited idea of what is reality, and we've accepted a very limited idea of what it is. Now, reality, all it is a hologram. Like, none of this is actually real. Though it appears to our five senses that it's absolutely real, none of it exists on a solid form on any other plane but the third dimension. And we've accepted this idea of reality, that we can't walk through walls, that we can't fly, that, you know, that we can't disappear and relocate and all those things. And that's unfortunately an end result of a lot of denial of our truth and a lot of manipulation, and this growing sense of a very small, limited idea of what is reality. Now, all that happens when you perform a miracle is you've shifted your idea of what is reality. You've grown in your awareness of what is reality. So when someone's firewalking, what they've done is they've focused their thoughts so intently on the idea that fire does not burn them, that they can walk across fire without getting burnt, that they have connected their sense of reality to a broader one. All they've done is brought in and broaden their idea of what is reality. And you can do that just by training your thoughts. I mean, the ultimate idea of all of this is you can do anything just by training your thoughts. You can train your thoughts to believe that if you cross fire with bare feet, you won't get burnt. And we've seen the remarkable aspects of this all over the place, documented everywhere. You know, I've seen so much evidence of miracles being performed, like extraordinary ones, like biolocation, where people actually, you know, they focus their mind so intently on a location that they wish to be in, and their body simply just disappears and reappears in the place that they want to experience through their mental thoughts. Now, the best place to start with learning this stuff, the best teacher in the world teaching this ability is Ramtha. At Ramtha School of Enlightenment. I recommend you Google it. Ramtha starts from the premise that you are God and that you create your reality with your thoughts, and as soon as you learn this and you start to, you know, use your thoughts in a way that brings like a big, like, fuck yeah, I'm excited about this, you know, mentality to you, you will indeed start to perform miracles. In regards to the holographic universe, I think the best way to explain it to people is using the idea of a hypnotist. So I don't know if you've ever seen someone perform hypnosis on stage. You've been present here? You know, yeah, and so, you know, we recently here in Australia watched it in Big Brother, and it was quite extraordinary. Like, he actually, really performed some amazing experiences on TV. But the best one, and David Icke talks about this example, is a hypnotist was up on stage and he called up a father, and his father had a daughter in the audience, and he hypnotized his father and he said, you know, you can no longer see your daughter. You know, she no longer is visible to you. You cannot see her. And it woke him up. And then he called the daughter up on stage and stood the daughter literally a metre away from the father and said, you know, what's in front of me? And he could not see her. Like, she just ceased to exist in his idea. And not only that, he then got a watch and he put it behind the daughter's back and asked the father if he could see what was in his hand. And he leaned forward and he looked through his daughter's chest and could see a watch. And then the hypnotist asked if he could read the inscription on the watch, and the father just looked in and read it as if she wasn't there. Now, all this means really, and what's so remarkable about it, is it really proves the idea that our reality is determined by what we believe to be true. So all that he did was override an experience in this person's head that said that he could see his daughter. And so the daughter ceased to exist. The daughter ceased to become a physical object that existed. He was using the mind outside of the 5 external senses. So that when it was programmed into this guy's consciousness, into his reality, that the daughter didn't exist, then indeed in his reality the daughter didn't exist. So much so that he could just see right through her. Now, in relation to miracles, I mean, this is like quite an extraordinary feat, correct? It's an amazing story, and this is happening on stage every day. But it's even more remarkable because it proves to us how holographic our universe is. So we take in about 1 billion bits of information a day, and we process 5,000 of them. You know, of all the information that we take in, our brain literally processes and believes and constructs our whole reality on about 1%. Our eyes see so much more than what we acknowledge that we can see, because it's not the eyes that are seeing, it's the brain that's seeing. And the brain can only register that in its present reality existence, in the 5 sense reality, that which it believes to be true. So if it doesn't believe in what it's saying, in what it's seeing, then it simply will cease to exist. So in regards to miracle, all you're doing is playing on that same idea, that we simply can see or do or experience that which we believe exists or is real. So if you want to experience a miracle, like, the most common one is flying, then all you need to do is actually focus your mind on connecting to a reality that's broader than this one. Gravity being like the ultimate thing, our this third dimensional plane that we live in, the whole law of it is gravity, gravity, gravity. And it's been sold to us so strongly through everything we've ever been taught or experienced and believe. And we experience it every day. We experience that if something is dropped, it falls. We experience that if we jump off something, we're going to fall. We experience gravity every day because we have believed in that limited reality. Now, if we shift that reality by reconfiguring our brains, by changing our thought process, then flying would just become second nature to us. But we've got to get to a point where we actually believe it. And that's the key, hey? Defying gravity is like an ultimate test of how far your mind's gone with believing what you want to believe. And that means defying the whole sense of reality we exist on in the third plane. Because in other planes, gravity, gravity's only existence in the third. On other planes, like once we hit the 5th, in 4 years, everyone will be able to fly. Everyone will be able to fly. I guarantee you that. Which is remarkable because I don't know if you've noticed, but every child has the desire to fly. So it's almost we're born with that innate memory that it is part of us. And yet we spend from the moment we experience this usually in a form of a dream, and express it, we're told that it's not possible, it defies the laws, that it can't happen. And so we simply accept that idea and then it can't happen. If you want to fly, you just have to forget that you can't. And that's the law of all miracles. If you want to do anything miraculous, you just have to forget that you can't do that and train your mind to actually know for certain that you can.
Excellent.
Anything else?
Can't think of any at the moment. That's cool. Thank you.
Can't think of any more questions, are you sure? That's the end of the line, is it?
For now, yes.
Okay.